Hey everyone, welcome back to Libby Studio, and today I'm here to talk about Heartland Season 18, Episode 4, and it is called Into the Unknown. So I thought this was a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it for the most part. I really didn't have many complaints about it overall. I mean, I do wish a few things might have been expanded on a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. So basically, this episode, there's like two plot lines going on. The first one is with Amy and Nathan, and that's kind of intertwined with Amy working with a polo pony from Rick. And then the second main plot line is all these rumors about Heartland beef and Jack, Tim, and Lou debating what to do. And then you also have stuff with Jack and Lisa, and then Jessica has a plot line where she gets a letter from her father, and then Katie and Brandon have some conflicts. So I'm just going to start kind of with Katie and Brandon and kind of work my way up. So basically, Brandon comes to one of Katie's writing classes. You can tell they're growing closer. He asks her to come to a monster truck show with him. And then at the last minute, Katie decides to go to the after club meeting at the wine bar and ditches Brandon. And Brandon's very upset and tells her that he liked her, and she's just wants to stay friends, but you can tell he's upset at it. So, I'm kind of curious what's going to happen here. I don't know. I thought they were kind of cute together, but, I don't think Katie's just ready for that yet. And I think, I don't know if we'll see Brandon again, to be honest. I think we will, but I don't know if anything's going to happen between them or not. I mean, that was kind of a bummer. I still am kind of like, don't really understand the whole plot line with Katie and the writing club, because I just feel like why was she even at the wine bar to begin with? She shouldn't have been there. And you think she, they would have checked her ID or something because she looked young, but I guess because she's tall and looks older than she is, they just let it go by. I don't know. To me, I thought that was kind of weird, and just the whole premise of the plot line is just kind of odd to me. And then so Jessica gets this offer to go on this art photography exhibit. Pretty much at the same time, she gets a letter from her father, and he wants to connect. Apparently, he's sick. He doesn't have much time left, and he wants to see her. Jessica's very conflicted because apparently he left her mom for his secretary, and she hasn't seen him since she was a teenager, and he taught her polo. So obviously she has very mixed feelings on this, especially because it will interfere with her exhibit. And she even says, "Why would I be there for someone who wasn't there for me?" And I thought this was a pretty good plotline overall, and I kind of wish it was maybe dragged out a little bit more. But I ended up liking how doing polo with the horse kind of brought back, it kind of renewed her love for her dad in a way, and it really got her to make that step to go see him in New Hampshire. So, I mean, I liked all of that, and I thought that was pretty powerful, and I liked that storyline overall, and, because really debating, is this the right choice? Should I go, should I not? I thought it was pretty good, and it definitely made me like Jessica more, and she's not my favorite character, but she's, when she has storylines like these, I do like her more, rather if she's just arguing with Lou all the time. It's not my favorite, but... no, I like this plot line, and I assume we won't see her for a while. They're kind of writing her out, but I'm sure we'll see her again before the season's over. And I liked how Tim just didn't even really talk all that much. He just let her share what was on her mind. And from what we know of Tim, he's very much kind of butting his way in and sharing his feelings, but no, he just let Jess talk about what she needed to talk about, and I thought that was very good of him to do. So I like those moments between them. And then we also have Lisa finding out that apparently she has a burial plot next to Dan, but she doesn't want to get buried there. And this kind of leads to Jack and Lisa having the death talk. Now, to be honest, the whole death talk was kind of a bummer because it didn't really further the plot all that much. I mean, basically, Lisa decides to get buried next to him in the Heartland cemetery, and then she buys a fancy new car. with that money, that because she sold the burial plot. Like, and to me, I feel like that car was worth way more than that plot, but I assume she just pitched some extra money in. To me, like, it was cool that she got the car, but I didn't really understand the point of all of it. And, I don't really want to see Jack and Lisa talking about death, but I feel like they could have, if they were going to, they should have made it a bit deeper instead of just kind of like a one and done conversation, is kind of what it felt like. And I guess they hadn't really discussed where they were going to get buried at, but we kind of already knew, so I didn't think they needed to spend a whole episode on it. But it was kind of cool how Val Stanton took the plot from Lisa and bought it. I thought that was kind of like a nice touch. And I think it's kind of foreshadowing when we see Ashley again. Now, I don't think Val will come back with her, but they're kind of throwing that Stanton name around, which is kind of cool. And the other major plot line, because there's two, is basically there's all these rumors going around, and specifically at the barber shop, that Heartland Beef is going to shut down. The ranch is going to shut down all of it. And Jack is very upset, and at first he's like, let's take the high road, ignore the rumors, but Lou and Tim are very persistent that they need to take action and defend their business, which I think I agree with them on. So Tim goes into the barber shop to try to get intel. That was pretty funny. And then Lou's about to just go to the barber shop and give them a piece of her mind. But no, Jack goes and he says that he's selling bison. They're going to start selling bison and that they're not going anywhere. I like that moment. It was kind of like a spur of the moment decision to just decide to do the bison, but I guess it all worked out in the end. I like this plot line overall. I mean, it had some humor in it, like, Tim going to the barbershop to get intel was pretty funny. I like seeing Lou continue to fight for, the right reasons, and I'm liking her a lot this season. And we also see a nice scene between Lou and Rick at the end where, he's talking about all of his, like, what he's doing as mayor and all of that. I wasn't super interested. And she says, you're doing a great job. So I didn't think there was much of a point in having Rick come back because he really didn't do anything. It was mainly just to give Amy a horse to work with. But I think they kind of might just bring him in every once in a while, and we'll see how he's doing as mayor. He didn't really do all that much, and I don't think we'll see him again this season. But basically, the episode starts off with Amy seeing someone, like a girl outside of Nathan's house, and she's very much like doesn't want to talk about it and kind of brushes him off, but he wants to talk about it, but not, like, he kind of waits too late because Amy gets very frustrated with him, how he's keeping secrets and everything, and she brings up Finn. And I am kind of upset at how they've painted Finn in this bad light. Like, that he was just so secretive and that, like, he was not a good match for Amy. And that's kind of a bummer because I really thought they could have been something good. And sure, he kept secrets. I think they should have written that differently to where he didn't just seem like a shady guy, especially because the actor died. I feel like they should have honored his character a bit more, especially because they could have done rewrites. It happened, I think... Actually, I don't remember. Maybe it was out of their control, the whole rewrite and all that thing. But, I wish they didn't just bring Finn in as, like, a way to be the opposite of Nathan. Like, oh, Finn was secretive, like Nathan shouldn't be. I don't know. To me, I feel like they shouldn't do that. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to continue to bring him up, like, a lot. Like, I don't get it. But I like how the polo pony and the horse kind of like are a metaphor for Amy and Nathan, like the rebuilding the trust between them. And then at the end, he invites her to his house, and we find out his dad has Alzheimer's. And then we get a moment where the dad thinks that Amy is Marion, and they kind of just like laugh it off. And then at the end, Amy says, you shouldn't have to go through this alone, and I'm here. And then they kind of make up. So I think things ended in a pretty good place with them. I liked finally getting to meet his dad. So I assume his dad's not the one. Like, he's not involved in the business at all. I thought, to me, it sounded like his grandfather was, but, like, I don't really know anymore. We haven't heard about his grandfather in a hot minute. So I don't really know what the whole thing is there. But I liked how Amy and Nathan took some steps in their relationship. I do think Amy's was being a bit hard on him, and I think she has a tendency to do that with people, like putting people on such a high pedestal because, she doesn't want to get her heart broken. She wants open and honesty, and I get that. I really do. But I do think she needs to like kind of let people work things out on their own instead of like pushing people to do stuff that they don't want to do. That's just something I've noticed, especially like the whole thing with Logan and then the whole thing with Nathan is just two instances where I saw that. But no, I thought this was a good episode. It advanced the plot a decent amount. I mean, really, the Amy and Nathan thing was the only one that really moved forward, and then the Jessica stuff was good too. The only way like the Heartland beef stuff moved forward was their decision to do Bison, which I assume we'll see more of in the future episodes. But no, that's kind of it. Let me know what you guys thought of episode 4 down below, and I'll see you next week for episode 5. Thanks everyone for listening, and bye everyone.